Hello and welcome to episode number 35 of WITM Season 5, take number 2. I apologize for anybody trying to reach our or watch our first attempt at streaming. My Elgato somehow got unplugged. I do apologize for that. We're going to restart the stream and your eyes don't have to see view. Yes, we are on WWE 2K17. That is because it is the Go Home Raw before Royal Rumble, which means we have our final build-up to the huge Universal Championship match between the Universal Champion Dalton Roush and his opponent at Royal Rumble, the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar. Lesnar is in the ring with his client, Paul Heyman. The only way to get a video scene with those two together is on WWE 2K17. That's why we're on there. So let's listen in and hear what Paul Heyman has to say about the upcoming match at Royal Rumble. And I'll do my best Paul Heyman imitation for you guys. And there's going to be some glitching around the top of the screen. That's in the game, not the Elgato or my TV. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I apologize in advance for that. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate for the next reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion of the world, Brock Lesnar. And I've read all your tweets, Facebook comments, YouTube comments, Instagram comments, etc. And everyone wants to know the answer to the million-dollar question. Why did Brock Lesnar choose to attack Dalton Roush backstage, a man who he has had no prior meetings with? Well, let me tell you. It's because Brock Lesnar does what Brock Lesnar wants to do. And when Dalton Roush started going around telling everyone that he is the best in the world, the premier talent, and the only name in the WWE that belongs on all the marquees, well, that simply isn't true. Because the only name that belongs on any marquees, the only WWE superstar who could single-handedly sell out any arena or stadium around the world, is my client, Brock Lesnar. So Dalton, Lesnar attacked you simply because he wanted to stop before you came down to that ring and tried to convince the WWE Universe that you are the best, when everyone knows that the best superstar in the WWE is Brock Lesnar. So Dalton, how did it feel being suplexed into equipment crates, doors, floors, and walls last week? Do you really think it won't be more of the same at the Royal Rumble? Dalton, why don't you do yourself a favor? Come to this ring and lay the Universal title at Brock Lesnar's feet. Save yourself the pain and embarrassment that would come your way at the Royal Rumble, and then go back to Hollywood like you threatened to do so many times before.
Trigger loaded, falling. Yet the stakes so full of rage and
Universal Champion Dalton Roush has made his way to the ring. Paul Heyman suggested that Dalton take the Universal title, vacate it, and leave it at Brock Lesnar's feet. Will Dalton do that, or will the match still be on for Royal Rumble between Dalton Roush and Brock Lesnar for the Universal title? Let's listen in and hear what Dalton has to say. Anybody who watched WWE in 2008 should know by now who the real premier talent and best in the world truly is. But I wouldn't expect you to know that, Brock, seeing as you can't be bothered to show up most of the time, let alone watch the product on TV. But go ahead and doubt me like everyone else has. When people said I was a fool to leave a very well-paying job in Hollywood and head to the WITM School of Pro Wrestling to learn the craft of wrestling, I did it anyway. When people said I never succeeded in the WWE, I have. When people said I had no chance at winning the WWE World Cup and defeating 7 former world champions to win, I did just that. When people said I couldn't become a singles champion, I did. And even after all that, people are saying I have no chance against Brock at the Royal Rumble. But I am going to defeat you and remain Universal Champion. So why don't you leave my ring and go hightail it back to UFC, Brock? Because the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion of the world is and still will be the premier talent, the best in the world, Dalton Roush. Alright, so we heard from both champion and challenger, or the challenger's advocate anyway. Paul Heyman suggested that if the match goes on as planned at Royal Rumble, it will be more of the same. Brock will annihilate Dalton and suplex him into any surface he can find. Dalton says the match will go on as planned, and he will overcome the odds and remain Universal Champion, just like he has plenty of times before. But Dalton is in action tonight. He must now turn his focus to that. With that, let's get tonight's Raw underway.
Enough of the preliminaries. Here we go. Singles match on tap next.
Alright, our first match of the evening sees Tyler Breeze pick up a victory over Dolph Ziggler. In tag team action, the B team pick up a victory over Slater and Rhino. More tag team action, the Revival with a victory over the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Ascension. That is a non-title victory. Non-title action, No Way Jose with the upset victory over the Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley. That will be good for 2 spots up the Intercontinental title rankings for No Way Jose. That's a pretty huge upset considering how well Lashley's been doing. And now it is time for our first match of the evening. Dalton Roush has one last chance to build up momentum heading into the Royal Rumble, where he would defend his title against the man we saw earlier, Brock Lesnar. It's Dalton Roush teaming with the tag team of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable to take on the entirety of Lucha House Party, Gran Metalik, Kalisto, and Lince Dorado. Let's get that match loading up.
And coming up is a contest where things can get out of hand very quickly.
Chaos, mayhem, I love it.
And hello to our viewer that just came in. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. We're getting ready for our first match of the night here on this go-home edition of Raw before Royal Rumble, where the Universal Champion Dalton is in tag team action. Dalton comes in with a record of 22-11-1. He has, 22-12-1. He's about 3% behind the current first placeman, Andrew Spudstrong, for first place and a WrestleMania match of his choosing, so kind of falling behind a little bit. But of course, Dalton has an opportunity to make up some of that lost ground if his team is successful tonight over the Lucha House Party. And the match is already ready to go. We can get to the entrances. Let's get our first match of the night underway.
Lucha, 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 lucha.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, all the way to the ring. At a combined weight of 511 pounds, Gran Metalik, Kalisto, and Lince Dorado.
Now time for a huge six-man tag team match. And I can't think of any competitors I'd rather see go at it right now than these 6 superstars. This one's going to be great.
Lucha, 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 lucha.
And their opponents. First, at a combined weight of 437 pounds, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable.
Bobby Roode, the glorious as ever here tonight. Yeah, Bobby Roode really does epitomize the Roode superstar.
And their partner from Grand Rapids, Michigan, weighing in at 257 pounds, the WWE Universal Champion, Dalton.
Byron, tell me, how do you think the champ looks heading into this one?
I'm impressed, Michael. Sometimes you see a champion look a little less motivated when the title is not on the line. But that's clearly not the case here tonight.
After that epic entrance, Bobby Roode has even more amazing tricks.
And there's the bell. This match is underway.
Guys, it'll be interesting to see
It's
if
going
these
to be
two teams of 3
Gran Metalik getting things started for the Lucha House Party. Bobby Roode getting things started off for his side. The Lucha House Party, of course, also part of 205 Live. They're the only current superstars, Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Lince Dorado, Lucha House Party, to compete on both Raw or SmackDown, as well as 205 Live. They wrestle both as a tag team and as singles competitors on 205 Live, and are part of the Raw Tag Team division as well. And they have a huge opportunity here to not only defeat one of the rival tag teams, Roode and Gable, but also pin the Universal Champion as well. Of course, for Dalton, he'll be looking to gain momentum. He'll need all the momentum he can get, despite being the defending Universal Champion. He will be the underdog heading into his first Universal title defense at Royal Rumble against Brock Lesnar.
Matches have been a staple of competition since the early days of
Gable
sports
looking for the
entertainment.
tag and gets it.
Momentum has
Bobby Roode currently out of play for his side. And Metalik is going to make a tag as well to the very experienced Kalisto. There's a flying fist by Gable and a drop kick.
great height.
Gable just not allowing Kalisto to get back to his feet at all here.
So many different
But Kalisto will do just that and reverse and send Gable down to the
The 3
canvas.
superstars have aligned because of a common interest. The most
Kalisto with an
crucial
arm strip
aspect
into
of
the
a
corner.
six-man tag team being successful
And
is
misses
that
with that drop kick.
to act as one
That allows
unit.
Gable to
3 individuals working collectively.
get that huge arm drag.
So much can take
Kalisto
place
worked
during
back
a
to his
six-man
feet,
tag
arm
match.
drag of his own,
Regardless of what type of match
and a
teams of
DDT.
three are competing in, the members of that team
There's a stomp to
must
the
be
shoulder
on
and
the same
another.
page. Oftentimes, the teams who have the best
Kalisto
continuity
forces Gable to
are
his
the most
feet.
successful.
Irish into the corner.
Oh my!
And a drop kick by Kalisto. Gable in a bad way, but is able to get away from the Lucha House Party corner.
What a
Going to be a Hurricane Rana right back into it. Gable forced to his feet. Catches the leg mid-kick.
See if the luchador can rally.
And is able to counter. Now it's Kalisto in a bad way in his opponent's corner. And so far, Dalton
By the looks of things,
not involved in the matchup. Roode and Gable staying loyal to each other.
As he clearly is here tonight.
And Bobby Roode with the glorious pose getting fired up. Looking for support of the WWE Universe. There's an axe handle to the back of Kalisto. And now it's Roode looking for a tag. Will we see Dalton? Dalton puts his hand out, and Roode somehow refuses to tag Dalton in.
There are instances when
Are
a
Roode and
six-man
Gable
tag match will feature a
even
team
willing
where
to allow their temporary tag team partner, Dalton Roush, to be involved in
or
this
in the
matchup?
midst of a disagreement.
Here comes the
That's
Cruiserweight
case,
champion,
someone
Lindsay
on the team
Dorado, who
must
plummeted down the
be
rankings
the
on
voice of
205
reason so the
Live
trio can function as
since
a
losing the
cohesive
title to Andrew Spudstrong. Will he have any more success? Will he find better success here on Raw?
He's starting to
Roode and Gable double teaming Lindsay Dorado on the outside.
Down at any point during this match.
Corey, earlier you talked about what needs to happen when members of a six-man
Dorado
team
doing his best to fight off the opponents, but the numbers game
if the team can't find
is
a way
catching
to
up
get
to
on the
him.
same page,
And
they
are we
will
going to
not
see a
last
count
very
out
long.
here?
Someone on the team has to step up and make sure for at least that match, everyone on the team can
Gable
work
heads
together.
back to his post. Roode continues to go after
Just
Dorado.
because superstars might be favorites of the WWE Universe or have a common enemy, that doesn't mean they'll get
And
along.
Dorado planted on the top of the LED board right in front of Dalton Roush.
In this business, people have long memories, so if someone sees
And
an issue
again,
on
sent
their
to the
team,
LED
they
board,
need to
and again,
resolve it right
And we
away.
may just see this match end via double countout. Dalton needs to move, or this match will likely will end in a countout, or maybe not. Roode's back into the ring, and apparently Roode was content with just getting the countout victory there, repeatedly outstripping Lindsay Dorado into the LED board with of course, a little help of a glitch. And it's going to be a countout victory for Team Roode,
doubt
Gable,
about it,
and
he
Dalton.
brought his A game, as you can see here.
Here are your winners, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Dalton.
And the official decision is a hey, a win's a win. But I'm not sure if there are many people on the roster that would want to get the win like this. Well, as we just saw, one of the most exciting matches we'll see anywhere.
Alright, well, thanks to the game's bugged for characters not to be able to realize during an Irish whip that there's an obstacle in their way. Roode, Gable, and Dalton are going to pick up a countout victory.
The next match lives up to the hype of the rest of the card. Singles action on tap right now.
It's a free victory for Dalton, as he wasn't even involved in the matchup whatsoever. But Dalton will likewise get another win in the rankings and pick up ever important momentum and rankings bonuses heading into his Universal title defense in 6 days at Royal Rumble. But now we move on to our second match of the evening, a rivalry renewed. These two men are going to face off for the third time in a month. It's the two challengers that lost to Bobby Lashley last week in the Intercontinental title triple threat, Corey and Seth Rollins. Which man is going to likely rise up to the #1 contendership following tonight? Let's find out and get this matchup underway.
We have a great match coming up next.
Versus a formidable opponent.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Austin, that glitch that his team won by is annoying. It's unfortunately not the first time it happened. That's why I kind of hate when 6-man tags come up. But I guess it's a free, like I said, free momentum boost heading into his title match on Sunday. I just wish it was a clean victory. But anyway, moving on to our second match of the evening. Which man is going to be #1 contender to the Intercontinental title following tonight? These two men have quite a history. In WITM Season 3, Seth Rollins was WWE Champion. During the Road to WrestleMania, he would lose that WWE title to Corey, who would then lose it back to Rollins, and Rollins would lose it back to Corey. And they had quite an intense rivalry in WITM Season 3, was Corey was a heel and considered the future of the WWE, until Corey lost the title and his spot on SmackDown, losing to Andrew at WrestleMania. Now these two men find themselves fighting over the #1 contendership to the Intercontinental title. Who will have it following tonight? Let's find out.
Making his way to the ring from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins has made a career out of taking risks and seizing opportunities.
Has been a multi-time champion of Money in the Bank ladder match winner. Debuted as part of the Shield with Reigns and Ambrose. Rollins thrives and is driven by people doubting him, by people saying that he can't do something. Rollins will do it just to silence them and smile in their face. This should be an incredible matchup. I mean, both men have extensive offensive repertoire.
And there's the bell. This match is underway. Both men trying to bounce back from being losers or part of a no decision in last week's triple threat Intercontinental title match that saw Bobby Lashley retain and remain Intercontinental champion. Both of these men will likely find themselves part of the 30-man Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And of course, they're going to want all the momentum they can get going into it, as well as the chance to come out of this Raw, the #1 contender to the Intercontinental title, which, as far as I know, is not set to be defended at Royal Rumble. Corey outstrips Rollins to the outside and taunts him, and immediately will go after him on the outside. Rollins catches the leg of Corey and plunges him into the outside. There's a series of punches by Rollins, who seems to have the upper hand right now, but Corey is able to avoid the super kick, only to get an elbow. Rollins has inside, joined by Corey. Outstrip into the ropes.
Drop down.
There's a fastball punch by Corey. Stomp to the chest.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
Corey with repeated knees to the head of Rollins. Now drags him closer to center ring. Going into mounted punches, Rollins doing his best to block, but struggling to.
Beautiful technique.
Corey goes for cover, and Rollins powers out right away at one. There's a kick to the back.
Tough spot now. He'll need to find a way to turn things around here.
The amount of
Corey with a working hold, targeting the head of Rollins.
Insane. A lesser man would have given up and walked away by now.
This match certainly isn't trending in the right direction for him. He's going to need a change in momentum, and fast.
And there's a series of elbow strikes to the chest.
Hooking him up.
What a face buster.
Rollins with a face buster, getting fired up now, looking for support of the WWE Universe.
Nice.
Now going for his comeback sequence.
Somebody wound him up and he's off and running.
And it ends with a sling blade. Now Corey forced to his feet.
Seth Rollins. Bam.
He's looking good now, guys.
Cradle into a super kick by Rollins. Now drags Corey closer to center ring.
Got every ounce of that one. This could be
And there's
Shoulders on the mat.
the one-winged angel, or
It
whatever
kicks out
Rollins
two.
calls it. I know it's the one-winged angel by Kenny Omega. But nonetheless, Rollins frustrated as Corey powers out at two.
Grief.
And now Rollins starting to get fired up here.
Seth Rollins
Looking to
is
take
going up.
flight.
Look at this.
And diving elbow drop will connect. Rollins in control. Corey's going to need to come up with something here, or it's going to be Seth Rollins
Tear your hamstring.
claiming the #1
shoulders
contendership
are
to the
down.
Intercontinental title.
It's going to take more than
And
that to
Corey
keep
powers
him
out at
down.
two.
He's got some more fight in him, guys.
Nobody controls the pace of a match.
Corey with the
quite
drop
like this
kick.
guy.
That's what Corey needed. The blackout signature maneuver targeting every part of the body of Rollins. Now drags Rollins closer to center ring.
Penny in predicament. This
Goes for cover, and now it's Corey
More than that.
in disbelief. Rollins powered out at two.
He has him
Corey
right
looked
where
to
he wants him.
follow up with a crossface. Yes, he will.
He's fighting back here.
I expected nothing less.
Rollins versus the crossface. That's
In check. He can figure out a way to take this.
not what Corey needed. He may have been able to win the match had that crossface been locked in.
Trying to turn this thing
But now it's Rollins on the attack. And he's going to use that free signature maneuver he earned from reversing the crossface.
Kicks
But
out.
somehow Corey's able to power out 1.5. But now Rollins has another diving elbow drop in his arsenal.
Seth Rollins getting all the way.
It's actually going to be a frog splash. Goes for cover.
He has left, guys.
And Corey powers out at 2.5. Rollins in shock asks himself what it will take to put Corey away. There's a stomp to the shoulder.
Hyperextend your elbow.
Oh, moonsault.
Standing moonsault by Rollins. Corey forced to his feet.
Seth.
And there's another one-winged angel.
Unbelievable.
Rollins goes for cover.
2, 3.
And that will be enough to put Corey away.
Real
Things are not getting better for Corey following another Intercontinental Championship match loss.
And here's another
He's going to
glance at
slide
these
even
superstars in
further
action.
down the Intercontinental title rankings and fall to Seth Rollins.
He ain't playing here. Oh, I can't believe this. He's getting it done here. And last but not least, there was this.
Here is your winner, Seth Rollins.
It's all over, and Seth Rollins stands victorious. Wow, I can't believe the amount of punishment that had to be inflicted in order for those shoulders to stay down for the 3 count. What an effort we saw here. Truly a great match.
Alright, so Corey has been number 1 or number 2 contender to the Intercontinental title for pretty much the last month or two, but he will not be following
The wait is
tonight.
finally over, folks, so strap in for the main event. Singles match coming up next.
Corey will slide to at least number 3 or number 4 in the Intercontinental title rankings. And it looks like Corey's best hope right now is to outlast 29 other men and win the Royal Rumble, because it looks like Corey's Intercontinental title hopes are beginning to fade following that loss to Seth Rollins. And in the final match of the evening, Bayley defeated Ember Moon in a non-title women's match. And now, let's do our rankings update. How do these results affect the rankings on Raw? Let's find out. Starting with the Raw women. Bayley defeated Ember Moon to remain Raw Women's Champion. Bayley remains champion, and Ember Moon falls to number 5. The Raw Women's Champion is Bayley. Number 1 contender, Ruby Riott. Number 2, Ronda Rousey. Number 3, Nia Jax. Number 4, Tamina. Number 5, Ember Moon. Number 6, Mickie James. Number 7, Natalya. Number 8, Dana Brooke. Number 9, Sarah Logan. Number 10, Sasha Banks. Number 11, Alicia Fox. Number 12, Liv Morgan. The Raw Tag Team Champions, getting ahead of myself. The B Team defeated Heath Slater and Rhino. B Team remained number 1 contenders. Slater and Rhino fall to number 4. The Revival defeated the Ascension. That is a non-title victory. The Revival move up to the number 1 contendership, overruling the B Team's victory because that was a non-title victory. The Ascension remain champions. Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Dalton Roush defeated Lucha House Party. They swapped spots, Roode and Gable to number 5, Lucha House Party to number 6. The Raw Tag Team Champions are the Ascension. Number 1 contenders, the Revival. Number 2, the B Team. Number 3, Authors of Pain. Number 4, Slater and Rhino. Number 5, Roode and Gable. Number 6, Lucha House Party. In the Intercontinental Championship rankings, Tyler Breeze defeated Dolph Ziggler. Breeze moves up to number 3, but Rollins won as well, so that's going to be the first spot that Corey loses. Rollins number 2, Breeze number 3. No Way Jose defeated Bobby Lashley. That is a non-title victory. Jose moves up 2 spots to number 6 with a non-title victory. Lashley remains champion. Seth Rollins defeated Corey. Rollins becomes number 1 contender. Corey plummets all the way down just barely in the top 5 to number 5. And so the Intercontinental Championship rankings, the champions Bobby Lashley, number 1 contender Seth Rollins, number 2 Dolph Ziggler, number 3 Tyler Breeze, number 4 Mojo Rawley, number 5 Corey, Number 6, No Way Jose. Number 7, Apollo Crews. Number 8, Jinder Mahal. Number 9, Dean Ambrose. Number 10, Titus O'Neil. Number 11, Elias. Number 12, Kurt Hawkins. Number 13, Zack Ryder. And in the Universal title rankings, Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, and Dalton Roush defeat Lucha House Party. Roode and Gable and Lucha House Party are not in these rankings. Dalton remains Universal Champion. And the Universal Champion is Dalton Roush. Number 1 contender Finn Balor. Number 2, Drew McIntyre. Number 3, John Cena. And number 4, Baron Corbin. Now we move on to SmackDown Live. Will we finally, on the go-home SmackDown before Royal Rumble, see Gerald in action? He hasn't competed in 3 weeks or so. And he will not compete this week either, unfortunately. So the next time we see Gerald in action will be as one of the 30 men involved in the 30-man Royal Rumble. It's going to be yet another week off, unfortunately, for Gerald on SmackDown. But I guess I'll have more time to prepare for the Royal Rumble. I am going to call the episode here, just in case there's any number 1 contenders matches or title matches on the Real Life SmackDown tomorrow. But that is going to do it for episode number 35 of WITM. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single WITM stream or posting. Check out the links in the description. The first is the WITM website. That's where you can find out how to become a WITM member yourself and get your own custom character with custom entrants, custom promos, custom movesets, and custom storylines. Check out the WITM Twitter as well for our latest WITM related news and updates. Until episode number 36 tomorrow night, where we will not have Gerald in action, but we will, on our 205 Live portion of the episode, have that 2-on-1 handicap match we announced 2 weeks ago. Lance Armstrong will make his in-ring debut, teaming with the Cruiserweight champion Andrew Spud Strong against Jack Gallagher in a match that Gallagher weirdly challenged Armstrong and Andrew to himself. That will be our matchup tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 11 o'clock. Until then, this is Corey with WITM Kyle Wrestling, signing off.